This is breaking news from News Channel 11.
We're following the latest on the emergency situation at Volunteer High School following an active shooter call. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office says they received a call just before 8 a.m. this morning stating an active shooter was inside Volunteer High School. Deputies then responded and immediately searched the school. No suspect was located. We do know 2 people were taken to the hospital with unknown injuries that are reportedly unrelated to reports of a shooting. According to the Hawkins County School District's Facebook, all students at the high school have been evacuated to the Mount Carmel National Guard Armory. Hawkins County School District conducted a news conference just a little while ago. Ansley Daniel was inside the room for the news conference. Ansley, what more did you learn?
Casey, that conference just wrapped up a few moments ago.
Junior at Volunteer High School, Madison Lawson, described the experience she had early this morning. She said the students had to go under the bleachers before escorting them to the baseball field.
In the gym, a police officer ran through the gym with a gun, and I realized it was real.
News Channel 11's Sydney Kessler live at the scene with the latest details. Sydney, what can you tell us about what's going on right now at Volunteer High School?
Hey there, Casey. As Ansley was just telling us earlier, they are in the middle of doing a detailed sweep of the high school here behind me.
Sydney, thank you very much. As stated earlier, the Hawkins County School District says all students at Volunteer High School were loaded onto buses and escorted to the Mount Carmel National Guard Armory. That's where they would reunite with their parents. Ashley Sharp is at the Armory now. She joins us live to describe the reunification process. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, Casey, good afternoon.
Thank you, Ashley. And we will continue to bring you the latest updates throughout the newscast. You can also find all the latest information on WJHL.com.
This is breaking news from News Channel 11.
Purple smoke seen at EASTMAN earlier today in KINGSPORT. This photo from a News Channel 11 viewer. The company confirmed there was a power outage at the KINGSPORT site this morning, and that led to all operations safely shut down. EASTMAN said both methyl iodide and iodine were released into the air because of the outage, that iodine causing the purple smoke.
The Environmental Protection Agency says methyl iodide can irritate the lungs and skin. Science testing lab Thermo Fisher says iodine can do the same, as well as irritate your eyes. A little after noon today, police say Kingsport Dispatch sent an alert to people within a 10-mile radius of EASTMAN.
Now here's the message that reached about 50,000 people today.
City officials are currently monitoring the situation in an attempt to gather further information. EASTMAN officials have advised that they do not have reason to believe that there is a threat on site or outside of the plant.
Now, EASTMAN officials say they are working to restore power at the site. While this process is underway, people may hear loud steam venting and see more steam than usual coming from that site.
Amy Cochran's been in Kingsport following the latest on the outage, and she joins us live now.
Amy, you're getting a little more insight into what happened from the perspective of Kingsport Police, right?
Josh, Sheriff Police say as the incident was happening, they were waiting on information from EASTMAN.
Amy, thanks. And EASTMAN has also alerted authorities of a release of an unknown oil substance into the South Fork of the Holston River. EASTMAN says a release of oil entered the river due to the shutdown, but an estimated amount of oil, it just wasn't specified. They're not sure.
Now, EASTMAN's care line is open 24 hours a day. This is a number to call if you have any questions related to what happened today, and that number is on your screen. We've posted it as well on WJHL.com.
This is breaking news from News Channel 11.
Tonight, 44 people unaccounted for after catastrophic flooding in Buchanan County. That's the latest from the sheriff's office, who said efforts continue at this hour to find people and reunite loved ones. So far tonight, no reports of fatalities.
Now, the lack of cell service and power is making it very difficult for people in the flood zones to find their loved ones, which is why they have set up a hotline.
We want to show you the number. The Missing Person and Welfare Check hotline for Buchanan County is 1-833-748-1424. There's also a reunification shelter and emergency shelter set up right now at the Twin Valley Elementary and Middle School. That's at 9017 Riverside Drive in Oakwood. You're going to find all that information right now on WJHL.com.
The flood zone covers about 10 miles of Buchanan County from the Patterson community to the Jewel Valley community. The damage there, significant. The worst hit areas include the Whitewood and Pilgrims Knob communities, where Dismal Creek overflowed its banks overnight. Now, this isn't the first time the area has been hit with severe flooding. Last August, flooding caused extensive damage in the Hurley community. One person was killed then.
In addition to damaged homes, infrastructure appears to be severely impacted. The power is out tonight, water and sewer lines are heavily damaged, and so are roads. The Virginia Department of Transportation tonight said Route 638 and multiple connecting routes are heavily damaged. VDOT shared these images tonight.
Van Sant, Virginia in Buchanan County did not receive as much damage as some other communities, but photos show it was still hit hard. This photo was taken early this morning in Van Sant, showing just how severe the flooding was in the streets.
All that damage prompted Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin to declare a state of emergency today. The governor said he was deeply saddened at the devastating news of flooding in Buchanan County. He said, quote, "We are making every resource available to help those impacted." Well, tonight we're going to continue our team coverage as search and rescue efforts are still going on at this hour in Buchanan County.
First, let's go to John Jenko, who's live in Buchanan County. John, you spoke with people who survived last night's flooding.
Yeah, Josh, Sarah, that's right. I'm at the Emergency Command Center at the Buchanan County Sheriff's Office, live in Buchanan County. John Jenko, News Channel 11.
John, thanks. Also in Buchanan County, as part of our team coverage, was Ansley Daniel.
And she spoke with other residents who said they have lost everything in the flood.
Those floodwaters so strong last night that entire homes like this one along Dismal Creek were completely swept away. In Buchanan County, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Absolutely heartbreaking tonight. People in the flood zone who do have access to public water sources are being warned to use extreme caution. A boiled water notice remains in effect until further notice for Clifton Fork and Whitewood communities, and that means water needs to be boiled for at least 1 minute. That's a rolling boil before it's used for any drinking or food preparation.
As we continue to monitor the flooding, we are also monitoring any potential rain that could make its way into the area.
Certainly hoping none of that goes to Buchanan County. Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds with us tonight. Mark, what do you think?
Well, guys, it looks quiet right now, which is good news. And tomorrow we only have a 20% chance for a pop-up light rain shower in that vicinity. Also on Friday, so a relatively dry period.
Well, flooding didn't just impact our area. The storms that rolled through East Tennessee last night also caused a panic for visitors staying at the Greenbrier Campground in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. In a matter of hours, people lost cars, tents, campers, and other personal belongings. Those at the campground say they had to stack picnic tables on top of each other just to get their kids out of the water. Sevier County Emergency Management says there were not any injuries. Those at the campground had to be evacuated to a local elementary school.
We are going to be working throughout the night to get updates from Buchanan County and other areas hit by the flood, and update all that for you on our website.
We'll also have live coverage on News Channel 11 starting tomorrow at 4:30 a.m.
Tonight at 6, a Tennessee Comptroller's report reveals why felony official misconduct charges were brought against 2 Mountain City officials. That report alleging an ongoing misappropriation of town funds. Plus, a Tri-Cities high school was used to help first responders prepare for an active shooter.
I feel that we have not only willing partners, that I feel that we have exceptional partners.
How officials said this helps them prepare for a real crisis coming up. And how much money did the temporary Hard Rock Casino in Bristol, Virginia make during opening week? We will have the staggering answer as News Channel 11 at 6 starts now.
Live, you're watching News Channel 11 at 6.
Our top story tonight at 6. 2 employees with the town of Mountain City, Tennessee were arrested and charged with official misconduct, and one of them has been charged with theft. Today, a Tennessee comptroller's investigation revealed misappropriation of town money had been ongoing and had been for several years. Ashley Sharp brings us the details of the report and how the city is responding tonight. Ashley?
Josh, Mountain City's mayor told us today the town has fully cooperated with this investigation by the comptroller's office. The report released today alleges the Mountain City recorder attempted to cover up theft by a bookkeeper in her office that totaled several $1,000s. A Tennessee comptroller's report. Comptroller of the Treasury Jason Mumpower in the report said to prevent actions like this, Mountain City needs to establish clear procedures for how bad checks are handled, saying this includes developing a formal record of which customers' payments have been rejected and when those customers have repaid the town. These records should help the town track and collect its debts.
Ashley, thank you. A live look now at Kingsport on the south side of the city. From our camera on Bays Mountain, it's been a hot week and a hot and humid afternoon. The Tennessee Valley Authority said peak power demand yesterday was over 31,000 megawatts, the 7th highest July peak in TVA history. The first time they've been over 31,000 megawatts in July since 2008. You're like, tell me about it. My AC hasn't stopped. Well, meteorologist Laurel Blanchard's in for Mark tonight at 6, and it may not stop for a little while. We've got some more heat on the way, right?
Oh, we got plenty of heat on the way. We had a couple of storms roll in this morning, but that's going to actually clear off as we get into later tonight as we take a look at the Boone weather camera right now.
All right, Laurel, thank you very much. Today, Science Hill High School in Johnson City, the scene of something first responders hope they'll never have to see again, an active shooter drill. It was held to prepare them for the worst, and it was a simulation of a day no one wants to live through. Officials told Amy Cochran this kind of training helps keep schools secure and kids safe.
School officials say it's drills like these that make sure they're as prepared as possible when the unimaginable happens.
On the Crime Watch, 2 people were arrested in Johnson City accused of aggravated child endangerment and neglect. The Johnson City Police Department said they arrested Helen Coy and David Miller after an investigation into allegations of child abuse and neglect involving 3 children. Police released no other details, but we do know Coy and Miller have been arrested and they are in the Washington County Detention Center, bond $100,000 each. Right now, Johnson City's Board of Commissioners is meeting to discuss relocating people who live at the John Sevier Center downtown to a new low-income housing development. We want to take a live look inside the meeting at this hour. They're just getting underway after the Pledge of Allegiance. So that new development would be in South Johnson City. A landmark would be near the South Roan Food City, South Roan Street. This is second reading on a rezoning proposal, and we've heard people are not happy about the project in that area. Commissioners are considering rezoning that land to a planned residential district. Developer LHP Capital wants to build 145 apartment units across 2 3-story buildings there. Look for coverage of that tonight at 11. And also at the meeting, some are expected to call once again for the removal of Johnson City's Police Chief Carl Turner. This after a federal lawsuit against the department, along with a third-party review over handling of rape and sexual assault cases. So we're going to bring you the developments from both those issues on the Johnson City Commission agenda tonight on News Channel 11 at 11 o'clock. Well, we're getting a look at just how much money gamblers are spending at the new temporary Hard Rock Casino in Bristol, Virginia. Gambling Compliance says over $37 million was spent from July 5th to July 14th. Just a period of a few days. More than $34 million spent at slot machines, $3 million on tables. $31 million won from the slots, $2.5 million won from the table games. The casino's adjusted gross revenue in that brief window, $3.7 million. An update tonight for people in Smith County. A boil water notice has been lifted for residents in the McCready, Possum Hollow and Watson Gap area. Now, this boil water notice originally was put into effect Monday, July 18th after a broken water main. Again, that boil water notice in that community in Smith County lifted tonight. Bays Mountain Trail is now closed because of beavers. Bays Mountain staff said over the past several weeks, beaver activity near the Fern Trail has increased. Plus, rain showers caused portions of the trail in Kingsport to erode, and so it can't be open to the public. Staff at the Kingsport Park said they are working to correct the issues and potentially will reroute areas along the trail, but found there was sensitive plants in the area and therefore the parks just decided to close it. Staff said they're creating a short trail to Lake Road from Lakeside Trail, which can be accessed by crossing a wooden bridge to the left of the former Fern and Lakeside intersection. Get out your map, right? That trail's been named the Baird Oak Trail. Go to the visitor center at Bays Mountain and they'll help you find your way. Speaking of Kingsport, Fun Fest is still going on and concerts get underway tonight. We'll tell you who's taking the stage and what's happening through Saturday. And on the high school football field, the Greenville Green Devils lost a lot of talent last season, but they insist the cupboard isn't bare. We're going to hear from them later in sports.
And taking a little bit of a look into your weekend, where temperatures are going to be sizzling up to the low 90s, and I'll have the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Live, you're watching News Channel 11 on ABC Tri-Cities at 7:30.
Voters are making their voices heard this evening as people continue to head to the polls. Thanks so much for joining us on ABC Tri-Cities at 7:30. I'm Josh Smith in for Ashley Sharp, who's on assignment. 6 of 7 Northeast Tennessee counties are holding primary elections today. Johnson County, Tennessee, the only one that is not. We have team coverage of the races tonight with our crews out across Northeast Tennessee. Ashley Sharp is in Washington County, Tennessee. Bianca Murray monitoring the vote in Sullivan County, and Kelly Grossfield closely watching what's happening in Carter County. Also part of our team tonight, John Janko in Greene County, and Amy Cochran. She's in Unicoi County, where some big races are going to be decided. We'll get to them in a moment, but first a reminder, if you are planning to vote, time is running out. Polls in Tennessee do close at 8 o'clock, so in about half an hour. And remember, when you go vote, you need to bring with you a state or a federal photo ID. Now in Washington County, Tennessee, voters are choosing their next mayor and the next sheriff. Those are just 2 of the races on the ballot. Let's go to Ashley Sharp, who's in Washington County previewing those races. Ashley, give an update now.
Hey Josh, you're right. Tonight we are following those high stakes races for the top leadership positions here in Washington County, Tennessee. Live in Washington County, Josh, we'll send things back to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. And as you just mentioned, polls are closing very soon in Washington County. The same true in Sullivan County, where Bianca Murray is monitoring the races there, including that race for Sullivan County Mayor. She joins us now from the election office in Blountville. Bianca?
Well, Josh, here in Blountville, there's only a few minutes really left to come vote, and we are looking at a few people who are booking it to the doors here. Live in Blountville, Bianca Murray for News Channel 11.
All right, Bianca, thank you very much. And our election night team coverage continues now in Carter County, where Kelly Grossfield's been monitoring the vote. Kelly, I know you were looking for an uptick in voters after 5 o'clock. What has that happened?
Josh, I think we're all looking for that. As you know, there are always those people who do things last minute, and voting's no exception. But the difference here is it doesn't matter when you vote as long as you got out and cast that ballot. Reporting live in Carter County, Kelly Grossfield, News Channel 11.
All right, Kelly Grossfield, thank you very much. Now we continue our coverage in Greene County, where voters there are also going to be choosing a mayor and sheriff as well as other races. John Janko tells us more about those races and also the latest on voter turnout. John, thank you very much. In Unicoi County, voters will be picking a sheriff and also deciding several other races. Let's go to Amy Cochran with more on what's happening there in Unicoi County today. Polls are closing in now about 20 minutes. That's at 8 p.m. But if you are in line, say you're at home right now and you head out, you're lined to vote at 8, you will be able to cast a ballot. WJHL.com, the place for results tonight.
Now at 11, the stench of the Bristol landfill continues to cause headaches and ailments. Residents say they want a solution, and one local church continues to offer temporary relief.
there's all kinds of emotions, anger, frustration.
A few days after opening as a shelter, we check in with the church and see how operations are going. Plus, the Omicron variant is ramping up and Ballot Health's CEO is speaking out. His message to the public just ahead. And appealing 1,800 years, a community rallying behind a Virginia man who they say was harshly sentenced for his crime. That story and more coming up.
Tonight at 11, 44 people unaccounted for, more than 100 homes damaged by catastrophic flooding in Buchanan County, Virginia.
We have no homeland.
And coverage from the flood zone coming up tonight.
Parents in some parts of Tennessee will now be able to get money from the state to send their kids to a private school. How much families could get from a school voucher program.
And a warning tonight about scams involving Amazon. Wait till you hear the latest way thieves are trying to take your money and access your account. News Channel 11 at 11 starts now. Tonight at 11, race weekend's here. It's also Easter weekend. Pandemic restrictions now lifted. What is all this going to mean for local tourism? We'll have more on that in a live report.
Plus, a new law in Tennessee makes it easier to receive life-saving treatment for overdoses.
Had I not lived so close or been in a rural area, that could have killed me.
One man credits the new bill in saving his life.
Also coming up tonight, remembering one of the deadliest shootings in American history. Tomorrow marks 15 years since the Virginia Tech massacre. Lawmakers are taking time to look back and honor the day. News Channel 11 at 11 starts now. You're like, when is Fun Fest over?
No
way! No, it's still underway in Kingsport. Fun for all ages.
Yeah, today a very popular event among children took place. It's called the Splash Dance. Perfect opportunity to cool off, and kids got to play and run through the midst of thousands of gallons of water from the Kingsport Fire Department's fire trucks. Those with the fire department say it's a really good opportunity to not only have fun in the sun, but get to know your firefighters.
Well, a lot of times when people interact with the fire department, they're having a really bad day, and this is a fun day. So we can interact with families, they can have a good time, they can cool off, and you can hear the kids probably screaming behind me. They're having a blast today.
Hey, another popular event was Kids Central at Fun Fest, sponsored by the Niswonger Children's Hospital. Free event, lots of vendor tables and fun shops geared toward kids of all ages.
Was that an iguana? It looked like an iguana. Oh, it was a bearded dragon, excuse me, I'm sorry. Today, the second and final day of the Kids Central taking place at the V.O. Dobbins Community Center, Senior Community Center. Every vendor at Kids Central has created an interactive activity for kids, and organizers say they had an amazing showing.
We always have a fantastic turnout for this event. Over the course of 2 days, we have about 1,000 kids usually come through here. So it is busy, and we have so much support here from the community. I think they really look forward to Kids Central every single year.
Oh, it was a bearded dragon.
Okay.
I just want to clarify.
Gotcha.
If you missed everything that happened today, there's still plenty to do before Fun Fest ends. Tomorrow through Saturday, outside of J. Fred Johnson Stadium, there will be about 20 restaurants, food trucks offering a lot of food.
The Taste.
It's so good.
It's back.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 6, you can enjoy a zip line event at Bays Mountain Park. You might want to do that before you go to the Taste.
That's probably a good idea.
7 p.m., bring a chair, a blanket to Highland Park and enjoy a screening of the movie Encanto. We have a full Fun Fest schedule on WJHL.com. Tonight, somebody could be $555 million richer.
And I hope they call us. Believe it or not, the Mega Millions jackpot is that high. If there's a winner tonight, this would be the 5th largest prize in Mega Millions history. If someone chooses the cash option, they will take home just under $317 million before taxes.
Hey, here are your winning numbers tonight. 2, 31, 32, 37, and 70. Mega Ball 25. The Mega Plier 3. The chances of having the winning ticket, 1 in over 300 million.